So yesterday I have shared with you all about the Pancha Nivarana, the five hindrances, and what are the method, treatment that we can do to help our mind to develop. So it touches on the uh, foundation of mindfulness, which of course there are four aspects of the establishment of mindfulness. And this Four Foundations of Mindfulness, the Buddha especially say, is a direct way. Direct way. Some people say it as the only way. But I think maybe the direct way would be more nearer. It's a direct way to overcome all the suffering that we have, all the lamentation. Also, it will also help to overcome not only suffering, lamentation, sorrow, and it's also correct way, a correct method and correct way, and that leads to Nibbana. So, I mean, in a nutshell, is the cultivation of the Four Foundations of Mindfulness. These are the benefits, and of course, importantly, it leads to Nibbana. So, how fortunate we are with this one teaching itself that points to when we cultivate them, then it will get us nearer to pull off all the defilements that we have in mind. So if we can take Nibbana in a simple form is the pulling off defilements, the pulling off greed, hatred, delusion. Or we can say the end of birth and death. Right? And so in this way, the Four Foundations of Mindfulness is a must for us to contribute. So therefore, when it comes to Noble Eightfold Path, then it's very clearly it's there. So I did mention to you all, whatever it is, we take this as your yardstick to check your practice. You will never go wrong. Okay? And so, first foundation is talking about contemplation of body in the body. Some say contemplation of body as the body. Or some say contemplation of body of the body as the body or in the body, whatever it is. So it means you contemplate the body. Easy one is as the body as the body, no other definition. So in the cultivation, there are basically 6 aspects that we can get to know our body clearly and what is this body all about, the reality of this body. Right? So 6 of them is the first one, Anapanasati. Second one, the four posture. Third one, Satipaṭṭhāna, is comprehension of your action, whatever action. Means to remember how it is as it is. Then the fourth one, you have the contemplation of the foulness of the body, the 32 parts. The next one, you have contemplation of the 4 elements. But in other sutta, the Buddha talked about 6 elements. Means the 32 parts, yesterday I explained, the 4 elements is basically about the 4 elements, means earth element, water element, heat element, and air element. At times the Buddha talked about 6 elements, so that will be including about space element and consciousness element. Right? We won't go detail, just give you some idea. Then the last one is a non-symmetry contemplation. So it means you contemplate on how the body will pass away. Within that even few hours, you already see changes. Become, let's say, swell, swollen, and then the color change, like become what do you call? Huh? Purplish, correct. Purplish or bluish, bluish, purplish. And then after that, clustering, water will come out, yes, and then the process takes place, and then after that, they tear off, and then more other things will come out, and burst out, yeah. And so all this process until, in the past in India, of course, they were explained in such a way because the body will be brought to a place, a mountain or hill, and where they will leave it for the vultures to, huh? They call it chana down. Then that is backed by, and they believe because on the hill, then nearer to heaven. That's what they believe. Yeah, and also in the past, people are very poor. To even do cremation is a luxurious thing. You need to pay for the wood and the people. So what they do is they just bring the body and then dig it back. Okay? So the contemplation is from beginning after the death, then we see the body like a lock, yeah, and then all the changes, right? And at the end is after some years, the bones or whatever it become brittle and then become powdery, and when the wind comes, that's the end of the story. Yeah. So this is also another contemplation on the body. So on Marana Sati and non-cemetery contemplation. So it will give you the urgency and to know the fragility of this body and the kind of idea when we hold on to it, what is it, at the end, nothing remains, and it goes back to the idea. So this is an aspect of contemplation that will help us, this mindfulness will help us to understand the body as the body, whether internally or externally, whether it's your body or another body, it goes with the same kind of process. And at the end, to the idea that the body is just merely called the body for the sake of reference. But actually, what is the body? Right? They all have this characteristic, anicca, dukkha, anatta. But because we have wrong view, that's why we hold it as there's a self there or there's soul there. Right? And we have the idea that the body is the self, and the self is the body. The body as the self as the body, or the body in the self, or the self in the body. So these are very thick in our mind. But actually, they are not. Right? So that's why self or the soul idea will come in. Right? But as you cultivate and accordingly, with the method of practice, you come to realize that this body is nobody. Nobody. Right? And so even to Anapanasati, you experience the body as you see it so rigid and so solid. And if you go deep into the meditation, you start to realize the body is nobody. Yeah? It goes beyond your physical. Yeah? And it's true. Scientists have checked, our consciousness actually are not inside this body only. They expand. Only we don't know. But we can feel it. Somebody, let's say, very angry sit beside you. Although you close your eyes, you can feel it. Right? So this, our consciousness actually goes beyond. So like retreat like this, some of you maybe are good at your meditation. Yeah? So when you sit, so your friends sit beside, right? So sometimes you just say, tumpang tua. Because the one that practice they expand their mental development. So they are able to expand the good qualities of this pure mind. Then you sit beside, you also put you benefit. And subdues also. So that's why group meditation sometimes is good because you have people who are more developed, some are tengah developed, some baru more developed, but you benefit from each other. Yeah? So the multiplication of pure mind will actually take place, and the extent is greater than sometimes alone. So this is where the benefit of group meditation. Right? And then from here we see that the other establishment of mindfulness is done through Vedana, feeling, contemplation of feeling in the feeling. Right? For example, if feeling arises, how should we treat it? The words is, you just know that it's pleasant. If it's pleasant, you just know it's pleasant. If it's unpleasant, you just know it's unpleasant. Or when it's kind of neither pleasant nor unpleasant, you also know it's neither pleasant nor unpleasant. Right? So you don't add on, I like it or I don't like it. Yeah? It's pleasant, it's pleasant. Right? And what kind of feeling or vedana, sometimes the pleasure that you feel, then the verse is, if you want to experience the pleasure, you can experience the internal pleasure, is okay, but not the one sensual pleasure. Right? So this is the development of your mind and the experience the joy, the happiness. So that kind of joy, happiness, yes, you can go for it because it's purely from the purification of mind. Right? But don't go for the sensual pleasure. Right? So this is again a mindfulness of the feeling. Right? And then the next is mindfulness of your mind. Yeah? So our mind, there are different states. Yeah? There are 8 pairs of them. Some of it is like, as you contemplate, you're mindful, the state of your mind sometimes become like, you know that you're greedy or you're lustful. Right? Then at other times when you contemplate, your mind is not lustful, not greedy. Right? Then other time you may contemplate the state of your mind. You may, let's say, know that, your mind is having, let's say, hatred. Right? And then other times your mind is having the state of non-hatred. Right? A delusion or non-delusion. So you know, right? Sometimes if you practice and sometimes like this kind of thought come out, and you feel a bit shame because it's emotion. Right? So then what to do? Always remember, really know it's emotion, really know why I want to keep that feel shame. So that's why the verse says, if you want to grow in Dhamma too, if you are spirituality, you must have shame, hiri, and ottava. Shame of things that is unwholesome. And then ottava means you also feel the moral dread of the action that is unwholesome. Because unwholesomeness, action will lead to unwholesome result, suffering. So when you are fearful of that, not because of anything, because you understood this action leads to this, then I must not do it. Even it's a slight thing, I should not do it. Right? So shame and moral dread will guide people to the right path and the wholesome practice.
How to behave if it really come up? It's really happened.
Yesterday only not the day before yesterday. You haven't come up. Right? But if unwholesome state that have a reason, then abandon. So now we use modern word. Delete. Okay? Alright? So that is for the mind. So whether your mind is surpassed or unsurpassed, or whether your mind is concentrated or distracted, or whether your mind is liberated or unliberated. Right? So this is where when your cultivation develops, then you are able to see, yeah? And that's why again and again I stress to you all how important is sila. Huh? If a sila is not pure, then the cultivation also will be powerful. Because why? Whatever that you put the effort in is based back, right? Wholesome or unwholesome. Right? Mindfulness also, you're mindful, but wholesome or unwholesome. Because when you're mindful, unwholesome, then you believe, wholesome, okay, here you go. That is what is right to do, then you do it. Right? So that is for contemplation on the mind. Then what about contemplation on the Dhamma, mind object? So the first set is that 5 hindrances. You are able to know. Yeah? When the 5 hindrances, when it arrives, how it arrives, how it ceases, how to abandon them. Right? So as you practice, you learn yesterday, Ayah already explained to you all. So then when it arises in your mind, then you know what to do, right? How to encounter, how to counter them so that they are going to peace. Right? So it doesn't disturb your mind. So the first set is 5 hindrances. Second, you talk about 5 aggregates. How the your eye, ear, nose, how it is penetrated by, let's say, external object. So how you should do to restrain and then guard your senses so that it doesn't, disturb or distract your mind too much, right? And then you have the 5 aggregates. The other 4 will be for the mind, Dhamma, that is feeling, perception, mental formation, and consciousness. Right? So these are also the practice when you come to Vedana, right? And then the perception, the chitta, and then consciousness, yeah? And all this will link to the picture Satipaṭṭhāna, yeah? The 12 dependent origination. For example, the Buddha mentioned, is due to ignorance, that's why the condition Saṅkhāra to arise, volitional actions. So very interesting. But the mind is very peaceful, no volition. Then after that, you feel the volition coming. So this volition under which category? Sometimes the category of greed, sometimes hatred, sometimes delusion. Then mental formation takes place, right? So it's from ignorant condition, mental formation, and volitional action. And from that volitional action, it conditions your consciousness. Consciousness will condition your Nama Rupa, materiality and mentality. How to say that? Right? When it's consciousness, then you see as a mother, yeah? When you start to get pregnant, what happened? First is the formation of the lump of body, yeah? But then still you don't feel anything, but the formation takes place. I remember I read only 21 or 22 days, then only you hear the heart start beating. Before that, no electricity, balloon lagi. It's 21 or 22 days, but that formation already took place. Then the heart start beating, then you see that the baby start to grow very fast. Right? So means you can see there's a timing when that field of energy, or we say, or the mind start to develop together already. Right? Until the fetus, then they start to develop the brain, all the hand, the eyes, ear, yeah, the formation. So these are the 6 senses. So this one, that consciousness, then it leads to condition the Nama Rupa. Yeah? So you can see in the process of the baby growing up. Right? Then from Nama Rupa, then Salayatana. Condition the Salayatana. That's where your 6 senses start to build up. Right? Then from Salayatana to contact. Yeah, Phassa. From Phassa, contact means your 6 senses. When your eyes see a visual object, then eye consciousness arise. Then we say contact happen. Okay? If you eye, then you see the visual object, but there's no eye consciousness there. Sometimes you look at a lot of things you're not aware of, correct, because you don't pay attention. But you still see, but the eye consciousness doesn't arise. So that contact doesn't take place. But when you pay attention, contact will arise. Right? When contact arises, it will condition feeling. Right? Feeling. So very fast, feeling. So if you like it, then you want more. Okay? Craving. Right? Then if you don't like, you push away, also craving, because you want to push away. Yeah, you crave not to exit, push. So when feeling arises, then clinging to your condition, craving first. Feeling, condition, craving, condition, clinging. Right? We hold to it, and that's where like some of you explain, right? You say, feeling not good, you get angry, and then you hold on, then it takes you 3-4 days in the retreat to spend on unwinding the feeling of something, So because you cling to your idea, then you suffer for the few days, right? So clinging condition, becoming, becoming condition, birth condition, old age, then death, so lamentation, sorrow, and then what? Sorrow, lamentation, what's that? Pain, pain, and then they call it this, what's the word? Pain, lamentation, sorrow, pain, despair, grief. Okay? So this will follow, right? Because what? Ignorance. So only wisdom. The Buddha found, okay, these 12 links, that is how the formation takes place, how suffering arises. This mass of suffering. So this mass of suffering is whether body suffering or mental suffering. Mass one, MASS. Okay? But through wisdom, then it will condition the mental formation to cease. The cessation of ignorance, then will condition the cessation of volitional action. So when you are mindful, the breath doesn't fluctuate, right? So means you already stop that formation. You condition the cessation of mental volition, right? Because you don't simply think, so the mind is very peaceful. So you already reduce. So again, the same cycle goes. So when birth ceases, then death also ceases. Then whether sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief, or despair, all this also ceases. So if you don't want all this, then tune, non-ignorance. Non-ignorance about your body, about your mind, because you said nama rupa, we're talking about body and mind. And then also you need to know your surroundings, your conditions. So it's the law of conditionality, right? So this is where when you look back on the Dhamma, right? Mindful of the Dhamma. So what Dhamma? The one that hinders your mind, and then what is your body and mind all about? Dhamma Rupa, and then the 5 aggregates, and then the 6 senses. The 6 senses. So our world, that we think the world, is not about the world out there. The real world is from inside. What comes to your eyes, how we interpret. That's the way. We think the world is outside. If you have no eyes, what world you are talking about? You don't see and understand what the world is. But whatever that comes to our eyes go into our mind, and that is what we say, that's where you need to guard, because it creates a world within you. to your ear, to your nose, to your tongue, body, and the creation of your mind object. So the six senses. Right? So 5 senses, 5 attributes, 6 senses, and then some more. Anybody know? Not under the Dhamma. Mindfulness of the Dhamma. Right? So on this, I think there are 27. So the 8th one is I think the word before part. Right? So 5 already 10. 10 6 is 16. So 16 7 23. So sorry, it's 7 factors of enlightenment. Then the last part is 4 2. Right? So means mindfulness of the Dhamma, the mind object. So these are the sets of things that we need to mindful of and cultivate. Right? So at the end, of course, the final one is a form to good. Okay? So now we said 4 foundations of mindfulness. Right? So one is for the body, one is your feeling, another one is your mind, another one is the Dhamma, mind object. Okay? So if you are able to cultivate all this, of course, is the Buddha said, of course, the attainment of the Nibbana is there. Right? But the Buddha specifically highlight in Anapanasati Sutta, another sutta is that the sati, mindfulness of the body. Yeah? So all this, if a person can cultivate even anapanasati well, they have great benefit, great fruit potential. Because why? Anapanasati alone, if you cultivate well, can lead to the understanding or comprehension of the full establishment of mindfulness. This anapanasati can actually comprehend the understanding of the whole this mindfulness or establishment of mindfulness. Right? So because why? From anapanasati, as you develop, you see there are 16 steps, but actually you break into 4. So it's the first part is of course the breathing in, breathing out, right? You know, mindful, and then after that you mindful of the in breath and out that comes the whole body, right? And then after that you go to the second set of 4. It talks about the feeling, but what it is actually is about the state of jhana that you experience joy, gladness, blissfulness. It's your experience of bathing. It's not that I feel, I make myself to feel joyful or feel, no, it's actually the state of when your mind is free from the hindrances, then you experience the internal joy of gladness. Right? So the other third set is talking about your mind. Right? The state of purity of the mindfulness or equanimity. Right? How is that? Yeah. So if a person has a developed state, then you can see that the state of mind that is so balanced that the mind does not relax. The mind sees the thing as it is. Right? And this state of mind is so blissful. Right? And so the third stage. The fourth stage is when the mind develops further, and then when they have vision and knowledge of the truth, seeing the 3 characteristics of anicca, dukkha, anatta, then the mind will incline to be dispassionate about the world. Right? And this is where then it leads when it is passion, then the cessation of the world. Yeah? And then you relinquish. Yeah? So that's where it said you stop the birth and death. Right? So the set 4 actually are relating to the body, the spirit, the mind, and the mind object. Right? It's not for you to say, oh, it's special. No. It's actually a deep state of mind. Right? And therefore, we can see that why it leads to the accomplishment of the 4 foundations of mindfulness. Right? And these will lead to the 7 factors of enlightenment. The the first factor is right mindfulness. So if you want to attain Nirvana, rule number one, mindfulness. Right? Samasati. Right? So you must have mindfulness that only can get to Nirvana. Because without this, then of course the mind will always be invaded. Yeah? They are not clear, not pure. Right? So first factor is right mindfulness. Then second factor is investigation of the Dhamma. Right? So because of the mindfulness, then you are able to understand the Dhamma that leads to further development. So again, then all the piti sukkham all will come again, and then the mind gets into tranquility, and then equanimity. Right? So the equanimity comes in the 7 factors in alignment. Equanimity also comes from the 4th stage of jhana. First stage already developed. 4th stage is the purity of it. Right? And we know that the Buddha attained Mahaparinirvana from first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana, then come down, third, fifth, second, first, then go up, second, third, fourth, and then from there, then he what they call attain Mahaparinirvana. So imagine if the pure state of non-grasping, and that state of mind is a state of mind that is pure and is birthless. So this is where that when we see the cultivation, the importance of it, then we must understand that we need to cultivate. Because if not, samsara is very vicious. Okay? So therefore, we have no excuse to say, I'm so busy. Right? If you're busy, no problem, the answer is already there. But if you don't want, then you have to do something. Right? You know the word busy? Busy? In Chinese, the word busy means heart die. Sing and wang, so correct?
Yes.
一个生，一个亡的，死亡的亡。So if you tell people, I'm so busy, I'm so busy, then next time you might say, 我这心死了，我这心死了。Then you will be awakened. 你心哪里可以死？心死了 means even you are present, your body is there, but your heart dying. Don't anti-conversion. Right? So remember, busyness is not an excuse. Balance your mind. Right? When we balance our life, then at least we can work to balance our body and our mind. Right? So this is very important. Okay? So that is the 4 foundation of mindfulness. Yeah? So you have the 4 right effort that you have to apply. Yeah? So even for our sustenance of anapanasati, we have to apply our mindfulness. When you apply our mindfulness means what? You are using the right effort. You must put energy to apply the mindfulness thing. If not, forgetfulness will come. And then you'll be invaded by the defilements, the thoughts. Okay? So that this pairing from right effort, it will condition your right mindfulness. Right mindfulness, condition, right samadhi. Right? Tonight I'd like to share with you about this word samadhi. Samadhi actually comes from the word samadhati. Right? So actually is some translate as a putting together, right? Or place together. Right? So, but in the past, people always translate concentration. So when you get the idea of concentration, we tend to concentrate, right? Which is wrong, right? But in actual ways means to put together. Yeah. So our mind means it is collected. Yeah. Or we say composed. Yeah. Composed means placed together. Right? So but now because the word has been translated long time ago, so every time they say samadhi, like concentration. So when you hear the word concentration, what will you do? Huh? When you concentrate, huh? So when you concentrate like that, your mind becomes narrow, right? And if you think that way, then the instruction may go not correct. Anapanasati is not like that. Anapanasati is relaxed. And then your mind is clear about your in-breath and out-breath, and you maintain that mindfulness there, sustain it long, then it will get into what we call calmness, and then those development of the quality, your hindrances will subside and other things. But I say, concentrate, then people tend to what? Either they put one point there, or they concentrate there. You can see one in your face, or here, or do like that. So when you experience what you should do, you like that. That is not correct. It's not concentrate on the breath. Is mindful of your breath. Know your breath. What difference? When you say concentrate, then you try to concentrate, then sakit kepala. Tension. If this is the case, then of course the Buddha never teach like that. But if we get it wrong, even the translation, then we tend to get to the wrong practice. Then we never get there. Then even for new meditator, they will scare them away. Come to meditate, lagi sakit kepala. At home lagi tak ada sakit. Come to retreat, sakit kepala balik. Who will come and meditate? Kepala sakit patok. So this is very, very important now. The word and the instruction. Right? You get it wrong, then what's the result? Wrong result. Right? So therefore you have to get it right. When you get it right, then you see the implement very good. Because you get it correct. Right? So Sama Samadhi, so we can say is the right composure. Is placing together. The mind get collected. It's just like the mind become balanced. Everything is evenly coming together. Right? So therefore we say, the five hindrances subside. There's no more wrong, so the mind become collected. Because of five hindrances, the mind become uneven and scattered, distracted. But when it's no more there, then the mind get collected. Right? Some may use the word unified. Right? So collected and composed. So when the mind becomes composed, then of course you experience the vedana, the joy that arises. Right? But in the first stage of the samadhi, then we say that application of the mind must still be there. Right? So when you continue, then of course the mind will enter into the second stage. Right? First enter in the first stage, then abide some time, then you continue, then of course, when the condition is correct already, unified, is collected, then it will enter into another stage. Right? So we call it the jhanas, right? The four jhanas. So the four jhanas have different refinement of their quality. For example, the first jhana, then the translation say joyful, feeling of joyful arise. And the simile is like, is under the pool, the pool, then a lake, then underneath the spring water coming up. So, the spring come up, right? So, that example, actually there's kind of like that one, okay? It will come up, like the spring water in the lake come up, make you feel very cool, very nice. So, then if you proceed some more, then because of the collectedness, become very, very deep. Then that part, then you can see that all those gross thoughts or that is disappear, right? So then it will enter into the second stage. So during this time, the application may not be so much on the that you have to apply, but because of that collectedness, I told you, like the, what do you call, the dynamo, when it's collected enough energy, then it will take its own course. Right? It enter into, then the dynamo start to help you to light up the light. Right? But let's say, even if you don't cycle, it can sustain. But if let's say, the more you keep your mindfulness longer and longer, of course, you save enough, let's say, 150%, not 100% only, then of course it will take its own course. Right? So that is how the mind will enter into different state. Yeah? And we call it the jhana state. Yeah? So in this state, actually there are elements of joy. And refine some more, we call it gladness or happiness. Refine some more, third jhana, become bliss. So you see, is it concentration? I think you concentrate, so sakit. But it's not a joyful. So it's definitely not concentration. It's because of the sustenance of mindfulness. So therefore, when you practice anapanasati, it's not fixed on one point, or you concentrate on one point here. That is the kind of samadhi, maybe other kind of meditation you do. They fix on one point and they want to develop, so force the mind to concentrate, then get into that concentration. But when the Buddha's teaching, samadhi is different. It's defined with very specific state of mind. So you can see that suppose people get into jhana, they're supposed to be happy. Not sour face, not tension, not kapala sakit. Right? So you just have to know this is the proper way, the proper development. And when you get into the purified mindfulness, means the mind is still mindful, no other thing can come in, right? And then also becomes equanimous. Equanimity, we say neither pain nor pleasure. But what exactly is that? The mind gets into that bliss that you don't feel it as Vedana anymore. It's just a state that is so equanimous. They don't react at all. They see things the way it is. So the mind are not, there's no power of grasping. So very still, very calm, very blissful. And of course, in that state, of course, it's powerful because you are elated. It's elated not in sense of what, but your whole being is transformed. And this not only when it's in the jhana, but after you come up from the jhana, it can actually go on for some time in a wakeful state. Right? And the mind gets into that state. Right? So we can see that the development of samadhi is so important that the Buddha said that if a person experienced the samadhi, in the past when they go pilgrimage, right, then you go to Budaya, then you see, wow, it's a batu, footstep of the Buddha. That's how we go, you see, wow, Buddha's look so big, no? Then they're not asana. Right? But actually the meaning of the footstep of the Buddha is samadhi. When you enter into samadhi, you can comprehend samadhi, the Buddha said, you are entering the footstep of the Buddha. Okay? So important, cannot do without one, right? Because why? This kind of joy and happiness, you can say, yes, you can look forward, you can go and practice. Right? But sensual pleasure, of course, no. But this kind of pleasure, you can. In a way that people say, oh, then after they get attached, how can you get attached when you let go only you can get in? Correct? You have to let go only you can get in, right? Not you want to get in, right? You let go all those attachments, then only you will get into this jhana. Right? And at the end, I said, no grasping one. Right? Don't know how to grasp. Then the mind is very pure, and equanimous. And As in, see things as in rising, falling, not the rising, falling, it's arising and ceasing, and things the way it is. And this is where it's so important for us to understand. And because of the Sama Samadhi that we have, like I say, it will condition your Sama Jnana, is your right wisdom, your right knowledge. And so you know. And from the right knowledge, then it will condition your right liberation. It frees you. Right? So imagine if you're very happy and things the way it is, then your mind very free. Nothing bothers you. Right? Very free. Right? It's because our mind with the defilements, it's very, very tight, very heavy, very sick. Right? So you want to free your mind, then you practice the noble effort. Right? So Samadhi, or Samadhi is right effort, right mindfulness, and right composure. Because when you say concentration, you tend to try to concentrate, which is not. Right? And so important to understand that. Right? When you say Samadhi, if you don't get the English one right, people also still fall back to concentration. Right? So means compose, the mind becomes composed, not concentrated. Composed. It's two different things. Right? When you concentrate on something or you are mindful of something, two different states. Right? So therefore, there is a trend that, when you analyze the word, the translation, so if it's translation not correctly, then we tend to get wrong instruction, wrong understanding. So this is really very important for us to understand. Right? So that is the four jhanas, and of course, when a person really practices well, then the mindfulness can be sustained continuously. It definitely will enter into Samadhi. Right? So some people may experience it, but not mastering it yet. And sometimes you may experience the first time, then after that you say, wow, that new addition to your perception, what it means by lesson, joy that arises from stillness of the mind or the calmness of the mind. Okay? Then some people, when they experience that, then they get very excited. Right? They start to say, wow, habis. That is no more than your happiness gone. So you have to know, don't do that. So in case you haven't entered and you are entering, know that. Don't go and say anything. Continue patiently, right? Observe. Right? One is the wow. Second one is like either it's curiosity or fear. But then you say, what is this? Also go down. Because the moment you say something, means your mind distracted already, lost already. So the stage, the experience of that state will drop. Okay? So don't make that mistake. This is number one. You experience very good state of mind. Just really observe continue. No, nothing, no comment, no reaction. Until you come out, then only you reflect. That one is, then okay. But during, don't wow. Because you know why? After you regret. Because after that, then your mind is inclined. You want to get to that state. But now you expect it will never come. Some people keep looking. They want to experience that. Then the worst part is then you start to project that experience, which is not real. They are not getting that you project. Okay? So therefore, people say sometimes you're innocent, very good at following instruction step by step. After you get already, then always want to get, but never follow the instruction. So every sitting is a new sitting. Follow the instructions step by step again to enter until you're so used to it then you can master it. Don't think you experience one nice time, then after that only meditate already. Then you think you're halfway to Nirvana already. It may be wrong. So we have to consistently practice until the mastery is well. Then your mind become very pliant. Then when it intent, when it got power, or else you say, want to do this, but no power. Right? You know the mental power, very strong one, huh? Don't play with them, huh? Last time, when I was, what do you call, but one time, I was also at the time under training. So when you practice and when you make wish, and better make sure that you make the right one. And if unwholesome one also come. As I was in Sri Lanka, then they have this before Wasa, they have a festival, they call it Pirihara. So all the elephants from Sri Lanka will come to Kandy. Then they will dress up the elephant, and whichever temple they have relics, they will also bring. So they're very happy to present. So the two relic temple relic, most likely maybe the Kekana, will also be on display. So the king elephant and all the other elephants, then they will have like elephants and troops of cultural show. People will blow fire, and then you can imagine like all this in the India like that. So they wear with the symbol, with the whatever. So at the time, so we were, they get us quite a good seat in front. So the road closed, then they put kind of barricade in. So we were sitting in front. So as the elephant goes, and then the performance, so suddenly my this thought, where it comes, suddenly came up. If the elephant poo, what will happen to them? Some thoughts, but I don't know, suddenly it just come up. What if the elephant poo? You see the elephant walk, and then, so suddenly, my question is, what if the elephant poo, right? Then the elephant go and go, suddenly really one elephant poo. When the one elephant poo, then I see there's one, they have on the roadside, man taking care. So one of these particular men, worker, ran to the spot, ran to the spot, collect the poo. My question is, what if the elephant poo, right? So the man came back, stand not far from me. And luckily, I said, the elephant vegetarian, they eat leaves, so the smells of the leaf. So I said, don't ask for it. Cut your mind. Sometimes your mind will become naughty. Curious, asking the what they call, unnecessary question. Then you ask for it, then it will come to you. No joke one. Sometimes you have also good thoughts. Also sometimes when you have the strong thoughts, it will also come. I was in Australia at the time, and I'm going to come back to Malaysia. So that day I was saying, how nice if I have flowers to offer to every shrine. But at the time already end of the spring, no flower. So my wish is, how nice if I can offer the flowers before I go back. Then on that day, surprisingly, that morning, when I go to clean up another shrine, when I come back, so there's one circle where they put the palm. Suddenly I see, inside got hydrangea blooming. Wow, very happy. So I said, now I got flowers to offer. I go and cut somewhere, small plate. So then suddenly come one of the uncle, never buy flower, and they come. And so Sumangala, on the way coming here, my daughter said, to buy some flower to offer. So can you please help me to offer? Okay, Uncle John. Then I got flower. And next one, the Stupa Buddha. Come again. Says Sumangala, tomorrow you're going back. I have some flower to give you. Oh, I got flower now. Then another uncle come. Then again, green flower. Wow, there's so many flowers suddenly. Earlier nobody offer flower. But that day so many flowers until I don't know. The plant become bigger and bigger and bigger because so many flowers. So now flower. Right? So sometimes when you have good thoughts, also it will come. But that your mind. Don't have the fat one. It also will have to run. When your mind develops and become more powerful, there is more time that you have to guard it properly. Right? Good one also will come, not good one also will come. So guard it properly. That's why we say abandon the unwholesome, delete it until it's so used that it no more disturb you. Only the wholesome one can be. Right? So the mind is very powerful. Right? And other experience also like last time, when they believe something, it really happened. Right? The last time, I remember I learned Qigong. We also teach some meditation. So we do the Qi aims and really the Qi, you la, can become very big for one, cannot compress one. Then after that, the teacher teaches, okay, stainless steel spoon, bend the stainless steel spoon, quite thick one. Right? So after 5 days, then the session, they test us. So that time I still like a bit doubtful on how to bend so hard, So when the teacher was instructing, you're supposed to follow, and then bend the spoon. So I was very curious, my eyes would be like peeping, see how other people do. I was taking the room, but I see how the other people do. Can they, And because of my doubtful thoughts, so of course when the teacher said bend, everybody bend, so bend, cannot bend. So I also bend. I bend only L shape. That is also with hard, what you call bending. Then of course, okay, 5 days after that, I thought, not really can bend one. And because why? My thought is like, see doubtful whether it can or not. But after 18 days there, when I go back home, first thing I enter the house, go to the kitchen. I just have a feeling I can bend it. Right? So I go straight to my kitchen, take the stainless steel spoon, and I look at it. The spoon is soft like noodle. Then I keep thinking that way, like hypnosis, and then you'll be surprised. You can turn to turn. Really becomes so. Turn to turn. Yeah. So then the moment is like, wow, harder. Really. Yeah. So you can imagine the mind when it sinks into this kind of, when you are so, like we say the word of samadhi like this so very composed, very concentrated, then the mind goes. So that's why I say the power of mind. So at the time then I realized, cannot simply think. So you can concentrate, that's why like some they practice kasina, right? What they call fire element and all this. Then really when they concentrate, fire come out one. Really one. Right? Then I rather have all those psychic on supernatural power. Water become earth. Earth become like water. So they can dive in, and then they can walk in water, and fly in the air, and they do. Cannot. Right? But make sure you master it out, or else like the story, that the hermit, it was so good, the king actually invited him to stay in his park, and one day, as he was exercising his psyche, then he saw, the queen or whatever, after Monday, maybe very sexy. Suddenly the last report come up, ooh, there you go. Then he told the king, I'm going back to the jungle. Right? So this is telling us why, restraint is so important. If you go, you allow things, the power to penetrate, one time is enough, you drop, and drop, very hurting, to come out, not easy. So because that incident will very vivid, it will disturb you. Right? So to develop, we have to have the correct way, the correct means, the correct method, and we have to keep doing until we get it. And then from there, keep practicing until it becomes your habit. Do some more habit, then become your character. Then it becomes auto in you. And then you set your practice separation in that mindfulness. And the samadhi, anytime you intend on it, then it will come very quickly. So this is where when you say, then you can determine on the state of your mind, whether today, tomorrow, or when you need to say bye-bye already, then you can feel your mind into that state. Right? Then you follow the Buddha's state, and follow Buddha's path, then you can. Okay lah, tak boleh sampai 4, maybe sampai 3, tak boleh 3, 2, tak ada 2, 1 pun boleh. Right? At least you know where you will go lah, safely. Okay, so these are the why the cultivation is important, and we cover, like I say, the 8%. If practice well, you cover already 3 aspects of the Noble Eightfold Path, that is right action, right speech, and then right livelihood. Right, the way we live, is right livelihood, where we practice all the good things, wholesome things. And then we cover right effort, right mindfulness, and right samadhi operation. And the way of cultivation, I would say, different method on the Satipaṭṭhāna counter different departments. So we have to identify our own weaknesses, and then we use those methods to help ourselves. And so the application has to be there. So if you read, and then you never apply, you don't get, you don't progress. It's only after a while, then you will forget what you did. But if you practice, then you realize that, then it will never go from you. Then experience will stay with you. But we need to investigate to always see, okay, what helps me to progress? What deters me from progress? So the one that deters you, delete. The one that helps you, keep applying, then it will lead you to the result. Okay? So these are the things when we say your knowledge, your wisdom will increase because you know what are the wholesome things that you need to keep practicing, what are the unwholesome ones that is your habit that you need to keep believing, and then applying your mind in the mindfulness all the time. Right? Remember, Ayah keep reminding you, no waiting time. You all remember? Yes. So when you are slipping into the mood, Ayah, come on, like this, like that, then you tell yourself, no waiting time. Bring back your mindfulness. If you are sitting, you know you're sitting. You know you can just bring your mind back. Just close your eyes and then get into your what we call sati, sati. Just sit and then bring your mind mindful of your intention. So that helps you to stay in the present. Yes.
About the power of metta, right? We try the Dhyana Metta Sutta. Maybe Ayah share with us the background, the story of
Dhyana Metta Sutta, first, of course, this sutta comes about because of those monks. The story says that these monks, they get instruction from the Buddha, and the Buddha actually asked them to go to such a place, like I say, maybe under the foot of Himalaya, maybe pergi Kampung Boga Hill, maybe something like that. So they say, you go there and practice. So it means the Buddha directing them to a place where it's conducive for the development. So they, happily they go. So when they go there, and what happened is that they find under the trees and places where they find good spots to meditate. So as they go there, and then apparently it was said the three devas or the three spirits, they were up there, their house, just like up there. And then they see all these monks come. Yeah? So they thought, oh, we should be respectful. We cannot stay above them. So all the family members, the Deva families, the two spirit family, all came down. So came down. So okay, so after the monks were there for a while, then of course their intention is to settle down there and practice. Okay, they start to prepare their, the seats, their area for their, they may stay under the pokok one, So they start preparing their seats, their location, all those things. And then they never say, hey, they are not coming for a short time alone. It seems like they're settling down here. Then how are we going to stay up there? Then of course, three devas, spirit, there are so many family around. So, mesyuarat tergempar. Right? So they all discuss, hey, how now? They are not going to go up. They are staying there. Then how are they going to be there? If you don't feel good, that they'll be under there. Then after that, they say, okay, I think we have to make a decision for them not to, be there, because or else we cannot go back to our home. Then I say, okay, then how? Then some will say, okay, appear when they meditate. You scare them, then they will go away. Some say, I'll make a very foul smell. If they smell they don't like it, then they will go away. Then some will say, okay, I will make sound for them. Then after that, they will find it very, you don't know what, then they will go away. So then I say, okay, so everybody, then they start doing all these things. So some monks were meditating, they suddenly see very strange things. Right? Some will hear funny things. Some smell very funny smell. Then again, the monk pula mesyuarat tergempar. Did you hear that? Oh, you know. Did you see that? Oh, yeah. Then you say, hey, I think this place, better know, better we all better chow tapao and go back. Then we say, yeah, I think we should tapao and go back and tell the Buddha, this place is not suitable. Right? So then, okay, so they all pack and then they go back. So when they see the Buddha, they told the Buddha about this. Then the Buddha, of course, with his psychic powers away, and the Buddha knew that actually it's the three devas. They were what, but they just feel uneasy. Then after that, the Buddha told them, we go back to that place. Okay? And then the Buddha, of course, teach them Karananta Sutta. You reflect on this as you go, and is Vedic metta. Yeah? And how is it metta? It's not just Vedic metta. You see so many qualities. He who is skilled in doing good. Yes, we do good must be skillful also, don't do good foolishly. He who is skilled in doing good should act thus. Right? He should be able, upright, perfectly upright. Not just metta, this is also metta. Right? If you are not able, not upright, perfect, you also will do a lot of things that harm other people. To us, you think like, my Sumangala, then you harm yourself, you harm others. And so metta is not just only the quality of friendliness or loving kindness, but the ability to be able, upright, perfect, upright, obedient, gentle, and humble. That means telling this monk, you go there, you practice, you must practice this quality. Then, obedient, gentle, and humble, contented. Right? So if you make the space, just be contented with it. Don't do extra because of your interest or the way you think. Right? So contented, easily supportable. Then with few duties, simple and lovely. Control in senses. Right? So don't go there or I am not there or start happy do things. Do something else, because I am not there. So must you say that self-control means your senses control, right? Control in senses, discreet, prudent, and not really attached to partners. That we should not commit any slight wrong that otherwise men might find fault with you. Then wish May all beings be well and safe. May their hearts be happy. Right? Then what else? And whatsoever living beings they are, big or small, right? Large, huh? Long, large, medium or small, subtle or gross, right? And those seen or unseen, seen and unseen, huh? Those far or near, and those born and yet to be born, and the all beings be done. Let no one deceive another, nor despise any person whatsoever, anywhere, either in anger or ill will. Let him not wish anyone. So if you're angry, you don't go and curse people. Right? You in anger also cannot, what? Will have ill will. So, just like a mother will protect her only child at the risk of her own life, means how your this extension of kindness, of friendliness should be. It's just like a mother. Whatever the children do wrong, they also will still pay attention and give that kind of kindness to help them. Right? Yes, right? Just like the mother, to protect her only child at the risk of her own. Even so towards all beings. Let him cultivate boundless thoughts of loving kindness. Be very good or bad a person, you have to still cultivate. Cannot be any, tak boleh pakai, apa, right? Cannot. So this it is beyond the judgment of good and bad. Yes. Because what? The moment we react to something not good, we are the one that harm ourselves. See what? Right? Sometimes people not good, you know what? But if you try to react, you get it first. So simple is that, so extend boundless thoughts of loving kindness. Right? So next the Buddha said, then and then you cultivate boundless thoughts of loving kindness towards the whole world, above, below, and across. Yeah? It's any direction, anywhere. Yeah? And whether he stands up, walks, sits up. Without any obstruction, without any hatred, without any enmity. Yeah? So whether he stands, walks, sits, or lies on this, the cultivation of mindfulness of this metta, you can do any posture. Yeah? Then we will say whether he stands, walks, sits, or lies down, as long as he's awake, means your mind is awake. Let him cultivate this mindfulness. This mindfulness of metta. This they say is the divine abiding. So if you can practice that, no need to wait to die to go to heaven. You can create heaven on earth. Right? Then the last part is the main one. Right? Not falling into wrong views, virtuous, and endowed with insight. So this simple verse, not falling into wrong views, is it must have right view. What is the right view? Follow the truth. Not falling into wrong views. Then virtuous, sila. Sila must be perfect. Then endowed with insight, means into samadhi and panya. And he discards attachment to sensual desires. Totally cut off. Then, what is the result? Three, he does not come to be conceived in the womb of God. Yes, birthless. This is how it is. So therefore, I say cultivation of metta, we think only just only, but actually there are many qualities that should be cultivated, that the being become what it called friendly and kind. So it is a very important sutta, and this sutta has been chanted in many Buddhist countries. So it's always good that if you don't have much time, okay, chant the Tivanana, then you chant Parayana Sutta. And then you read to reflect and you do that in practice.
chanting also there's a song called Metta. This song, there is a Metta chanting also. So I don't know what is the difference between these two.
Or they make it like a musical lah.
No, it's two different wordings. One is
Different sutta.
two different sutta. So it's called Avera.
Oh, the one Aviraho.
What is the difference
Yeah.
between these two suttas?
The what they call the Avirahumi one. So of course that particular, it's not exactly typical like teaching like Paramita Sutta. Right? It is the verses that you reflect to be free from anger, enmity, or that kind of things. And I think that one comes later. The Paramita Sutta is a sutta, it's a teaching.
It's a sutta.
It's a
There is
sutta.
not a sutta.
That one may not be a sutta. The other one that is sutta is a metta nisamsa sutta. Benefits of cultivating metta.
Or the other one is called Metta Sutta.
The other one is some call it also metta chanting. Aham aviraho. And may I be free from. So those are the verses of how maybe you reflect on radiation of metta.
That is the sutta of the benefit of cultivating of Metta itself.
Metta nisamsa sutta. We have Paramita Sutta, we have Metta Nisamsa Sutta. That one is specifically on the benefit of cultivating metta. You know how many benefits? 11. What are they? First one? You can sleep well and then wake up well. Then, what else? You sleep well and wake up well? No bad dreams. Right? Come on. They are dear to human people like you, right? Because you always smile and then approachable, and then they feel very comfortable with you. Huh? They are not only you are dear to human, you are dear to non-human souls. Huh? So don't be afraid. Then the Deva is also happy to protect you. Is he so cozy? Then what else? Fire, poison, and then fire, poison, weapon won't harm you. Right? Unless in a past life, you do something like that. But generally, it won't harm you. Then what else? The mind is calm and can concentrate faster. So when you practice metta, sometimes you feel like agitated or whatever, so you should use metta first. Cultivate that, then only you go to whether anapanasati or other method of meditation. Right? So then when the mind comes down, then it can easily get concentrated. What other benefit? Your face becomes serene. No need to pakai makeup. They look glowing, serene. Then what else? If a person were to die in the metta state, then they are then not confused. So this unconfused mind, of course, will lead you to deep state of rebirth. Last one?
You cannot achieve any of this, at least we
So if they cannot achieve the four noble state, then the Buddha said, you will end up in the Brahma world. Right? Brahma world, Brahma world is quite high. So means, they will actually reach, and then they are in a metta jhana. Right? Then they will end in a good birth in Brahma world. So many benefits. So even like we say, anapanasati also so many benefits. So you don't go very, very far. You don't go search here, search there. Sutta is already there, teaching is already there. What they need to do? In the past, people say, practice, 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 make perfect. No. Right practice, make perfect. Or else you practice, 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 salah practice, how to perfect? That's why you see go here and there. Right? So, right practice will lead you to perfection. Right? So you must, you see, listen to the instruction clearly, make sure you get it, and then put into practice, and then evaluate, see what's the result. Right? If you put it practice correctly, be sure the result will be there. If you don't practice correctly, then you won't get it. That's why it's important for you to check your practice. Right? Or else you think that you're getting there, but you have to check. Right? A lot of people chase after nimitta. Buddha don't really mention this one so much in the Sutta. Okay? So you see the four Satipaṭṭhāna, have you seen anything like that? Never mentioned. Right? So all it tells us is that you get into Vajrayana state. Right? The consistency of the mindfulness will lead you to Samadhi. And remember, no argument. The Buddha's teaching is Noble Eightfold Path. It's not Noble Seventh Path. Remember that very clearly. If you don't want to argue whatever, let them. But you must understand it's the Noble Eightfold Path. Understand? Now some people still argue. No need jhana. No need samadhi. They want to say up to them, but you have to be wiser. Right? Alright? So any other question?
Verifications of the metta cultivation. So based on my understanding, metta cultivation is the cultivation of the feelings of just as a mother would protect her only child at the grace of her own life, even so toward all beings. So it's basically visualizations of this kind of feelings. Is that correct? Just want to it's a feeling.
The normal time, they use verses to help to bring about the feeling of kindness, or friendliness, or love, openness, embracing. In the practice, actually, if you read some of the sutta, the Buddha mentioned is that when the person gets into the first jhana, right? That is where your hindrances subside and joy, openness of the heart start. When they direct, more powerful, right? A lot of people say, I practice metta, but I cannot feel it. A lot of people say, because they say, may I be well and happy. Be well and happy. How to feel, right? So, therefore, this is to help to arouse that feeling, right? So, like, we always tell you want to be well and happy, right? So, breathe in, smile, How do you say, may I be well and happy? How to be well and how to be happy? Then that's why they said, I cannot feel. I practice metta, but I cannot feel. Right? That's why I remember one of the devotee followers to Sri Lanka. And she was very upset and very sad because she said nobody in the family understands her. Right? So then I asked her, do you practice metta? Yes, I practice. And then, how do you feel? What do you experience? I always cry. You always cry? And what you cry? He said, I said, that's not metta. That is what she practiced. She said, I practice metta, but then always cry. You know why? Because when she do that, she has self-pity over herself, but nobody care about her. Itu sudah salah lah. Itu bukan metta, itu self-pity. Right? Feeling sad and nobody cares. So when we were there, And that time my teacher instructed. So ask her to do metta, wishing herself to be well and happy, wishing her family member because then she start a husband like that, mother-in-law like that, children like that, when they feel sad, they feel angry, everybody out there are to be blamed. Right? So then when asked her to do, she cannot. It's like, the heart is being pierced by the knife. So then she was very skillful. So, never mind, you do like this. Okay, when you do the metta, okay, one by one, your family member, you feel like this, assuming that they are in front of you. You put your hand on top of their head, and then say, may you be well. Like mother, tending a child like that. So she really follow, put your hand, may you be well. Right? And she do that, and then she start to feel the metta, the kindness, to extend for them. After a few days, beginning she always feel when she do metta, she feel like a knife piercing her heart, like very hurtful. Right? But after I think 4-5 days, right, her heart start to transform, open up again. Right? So she's able to feel the kindness within her and to extend this kindness to the family members. And suddenly she received a call from the husband and said, when are you coming back? She was so happy. So then she said, I don't want to go back already. It's like that one. Right? But this is, although it's not pure, but that transformation. So beginning is to wish yourself to be well and happy. So if you can't feel anything, it's very simple. Breathe in and smile. Breathe out, relax. So as you do that again and again, you find your heart start to warm up, start to open up. Okay? And that will help the mind to come down. And if the mind comes down and you can sustain that longer and longer, then it will get into that internal joy. And first is that you try to, but later it becomes your internal joy. That is when, again, your hindrances subside, and then you find that joy, that life springing from within. So that one, when you direct, okay, the soul and soul is powerful. That's why I say, when you have it, when you think of somebody you want to share marriage or you want to, let's say they are sick or they are not in good condition, then your radiation of metta to them, your wish to them will be strong. Right? So don't simply think of somebody and bad thoughts. You also send. All the consciousness flying here and there. Just like you get a satellite message. So if your mind is projecting and thinking of somebody somewhere, actually all this you are directing energy. Because sometimes even like distant healing from far, the person can feel one. Then you say, how you work? Say, I have your handphone, you don't know where you get the message, right? But it can come to you, right? How it works? Your consciousness is what I say. Right? And therefore, I say the word chaotic, because everybody also chaotic. Think here, think there, don't know what they think. Right? Send all the wrong message, get angry with this fella, that fella, and then send. Right? So worse than social media, get viral. Very dangerous. Right? So this is where that we have to watch it. Right?